First, I want to thank God, my mom, Dr. Amado Padilla, and Dr. Diane Lee. I want to thank God who makes all things possible. I thank my mom, Mary Duncan, because she taught me to value education and to love helping other people. I thank Dr. Padilla because he nominated me along with Diane Lee, and they are very supportive friends. I also thank everyone who is involved with me receiving this award, but there are too many people to name. Now I want to begin my speech talking and focusing on the good in others. This will be followed by how much we should give back to society as other human beings. To begin with this quote, "Whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things." This quote means you should focus on the good in life, and most importantly, it means focus on the good in people. This quote really applies to people who are different from you in some way that you may not be able to understand. Find loveliness and virtuousness in people who are different from you and think on that. This is not easy to do. I began thinking about differences when I was on Stanford campus in the late 1980s. My experiences at Stanford Graduate School of Education taught me that it is important to appreciate, celebrate, and respect differences. Back then, it was already a diverse place, and we were challenged to learn about each other, accept differences, and be fair. Stanford set me on a quest to do two things: help others who seem different than the norm, and teach others to appreciate, celebrate, and respect differences. I will likely stay on this quest forever. I invite my Stanford family and those in attendance to come on this journey with me. So what am I doing? I want to help others who are different and marginalized in some way. This was first demonstrated to me by my mom. She helped others even though she was raising my brother and me in impoverished conditions. So now I help others and I follow her example. Which brings me to another quote. "To whom much is given, much is expected." How can a middle-aged African-American female raised in poverty have much to give anyone? I have my faith, my intellect, my perseverance, and my wisdom gained from the School of Hard Knocks. I have a wealth of experiences that have given me a full life. So, of the best of those experiences, some of them I found right here at Stanford, interacting with the professors and my fellow students. I have skills and knowledge from my many, many years of education, and therefore I have much to give others. So with the plenty that I've been given, I help others, especially my students. At Stanford, I'm known to say that I give birth to 100 or so students every semester. And one of my students said to me, "You are a good professor, and you are trying to mother us all." As a professor for more than 26 years, I have worked with plenty of marginalized and under-resourced students. According to current statistics at Sac State, approximately 10% of students are homeless, 46% are food insecure, and 10 to 12% are seekers of emotional and psychological counseling services. As a body of educators, we have many students to help and a lot of work to do. One of our main tasks besides teaching is to mentor our students, provide them with advice and emotional support. We also have to help them see their own strengths and build their personal agency and self-efficacy and resilience. This is what I do on the job each and every day. But I also make sure not to lower my expectations, because that is the biggest disservice to under-resourced students that exists. So as per the previous quote, those of us who have been given much are expected to give back to people and society in general. I give back in my own way each day in my work and personal life, both formally and informally. I model the behavior that I value, trying my best to walk the talk. I teach in an authoritative fashion without lowering standards. I conduct research with underserved populations and provide service to organizations that support underserved populations. I sponsor a scholarship for child development students at Sac State with high academic achievement and financial need. I assist students who are homeless, food insecure, and emotionally distressed by connecting them to the appropriate services. I write Own Voices children's literature for marginalized African American children, all children, actually. And as I obtain accomplishments, including this GSE Alumni Award, I help to rewrite the narrative about African American women. I change the story for children born to single parents in poverty. And by doing so, I lift our society as Americans. I make the world a better place for all people, especially those who are marginalized. So to end as I began, I want to thank God, also my husband Chris, and my son Manny, and everyone involved in helping me obtain this award. There are too many to name, but please know you are appreciated very much. As one of my Sac State colleagues told me, Kimberly, you got this reward not so much for what you have done in the past, but for what you will continue to do in the future. So when I return to Sac State on Monday, I will continue to teach and nurture my students, continue my research with under-resourced and marginalized populations, and continue to provide professional and personal service. My work is not yet complete. In some ways, this is just a new beginning. Thank you for listening.